I believe we're going to start at 20 minutes, so 12 seconds left, 11 seconds left until we start off the second semi-final to see who can make it to the next round, the final round, and see who will take the pre-season international trophy. I believe we're going to get underway. You see Duke spawning in 2 seconds early. What a cheating scumbag. I'm kidding, obviously. And we're away. Wild, I think it's definitely important to point out the C spawn advantage that the Italians have on this map. They will get to B flag earlier, and they will be shooting sort of down range, downhill. That's sort of how the general map flow goes, but we'll see how this starts and gets underway.
Well, it always ends up being a sort of double-edged sword there. Although you get on Bravo quicker, it's a lot easier to get spawn trapped in Charlie than it is to get spawn trapped on the Alpha flag there. So you have to win that initial gunfight, and Italy doing a very, very good job there. They stacked 4 people on the flag, putting a massive amount of pressure on Spain right there. And we saw Doom getting a nice double, and there's only one player left for Spain on the map, and that's Naxo there.
Yeah, repping Naxo from Tribe and Venom, a great player. He's the last one standing after the initial push. I mean, you could expect it to win that push, but not like this. They are absolutely wiping them off the map to start off with. Pretty crazy stuff from Italy. They're hot on the sticks, and it's definitely important to point out. Class restrictions in the BWL, you will see players playing their roles more pronounced than you ever saw before. You will see Django probably using the Lewis gun, probably more stationary than other Lewis gun players. He'll be sitting there in greenhouse the whole time, and he will do his job very effectively, as we see a few gunfight wins for Spain finally.
Yeah, and they've secured a nice position down this bottom road of Bravo, which is going to allow them to get those respawns in. Italy very, very quickly skipping a lot of these revives. We see Bad Alex just on the outside of Bravo. He's going to play a very important role, but it looks like Spain are just too slow to push onto what was a very uncontested Bravo flag.
Yeah, like you said, they did have a window then, didn't they?
Yeah, they should have had that, and Bad Alex goes down, and Italy doing a very good job locking down the obvious spawn point pretty much that gets onto that Bravo flag, and also locking down that huge push that was going to go into Charlie from the Spanish guys down the right hand side by Bunker.
Very well pointed out. You see Django here, the Lewis gun player on the side of Italy. I think he's going to be doing a very important role. He's going to be locking down this sort of left lane flank, which teams like to flank around nowadays. All the gunfights on B, all the smoke on Bunker, and then sometimes you can sort of slip around when no one's noticing. You can't do that against Italy because they've got one guy watching the flank as their anchor role, and he does that very well. I don't think sorry, and after you.
Yeah, so that was a very good point there, and he's just holding that down, providing that support while he's got 2-3 players in front holding down Bunker, and then when you especially got players like Doom here, who usually plays the tanker role for his team, going absolutely crazy.
Great stuff from him so far. You see Phantom leading the way for Spain, and you see, like I said, Doom leading the way with Jukes. Jukes, obviously, again, we've sung his praises in multiple games before. I think we've casted Italy more than any other team. I think I'm right in saying. I think this is their 3rd game we've casted. Maybe 4th. I think we did 2 group games and then these quarterfinals, so I think this might be their 4th game that we've casted, and we've seen how strong he's been, the whole tournament long. So definitely looking at him on the side of Italy to be huge for them. But you see a bit of an A cap coming through for a second there for Italy. They almost applied a bit of pressure. Obviously, probably not going to win the gunfights very often on that flag with the sort of the Bunker sort of head glitch area, but that sort of distraction is really important, just to keep them away from B for a bit longer. And you see this 2 cap just last longer and longer and longer, and you see about a 150 to 90 lead now for Italy.
Yeah, and that's a massive, massive difference, and Italy just have now the lives. They can afford to get really quick revives now to reinforce areas. Spain with a nice, good push onto Bravo. Phantom doing a very, very good job locking down this road, picking up a nice 2-piece, allowing his teammates to take the Bravo flag, and now start to set up what is going to hopefully be a solid defense, because Italy aren't going to let them get away with it that easily.
No, I totally agree, and I think this is finally the breakthrough that Spain needed. You see Phantom being the most aggressive player. You can consider that locked in as a role that he's going to be providing for his team. He's getting absolutely swarmed. He should have been dead earlier, honestly. But Italy do get the wipe. That was a good wipe for Spain, and I think that's exactly what they needed to get onto B flag and to sort of assert some dominance into this map. I think the key is going to be this Bunker side. Nacho gets the huge win onto Kama there, and I think he's completely by himself. I think Italy should know this and try and push the Bunker before they push B.
Yeah, exactly, and I think we might be having some issue with the overlay here, stuck in the small screen. We're
Oh.
trying to get that switch to the big screen for you now. Don't worry about that. But, I mean, as you guys have seen, Italy being very, very aggressive here, pushing straight into Bravo, but we see Phantom, again, with another double here, like, supported by his teammates, doing a very good job fighting back that Italy push, and this could be the downfall here for Italy, as their lead was, what, 50 odd points,
Yeah.
has now been reduced to nothing more than 30.
Great comeback here for Spain. Like you said, you mentioned at the start of the game the spawn preference from the seaside, but then, like I said, a double-edged sword with the spawn protection, because there is basically no spawn protection on this seaside. It's very easy to get trip capped and forced into your base, and you see, as soon as that A spawn team gets control of this greenhouse, things get very sticky for the team with the C spawn, that team being Italy at this rate. So Camo with a huge 2 pieces, he gets traded out. But you see Catanzaro holding this far right angle. He will get traded out, but he just, again, the delaying and the pressure and the the distraction is so important to hold a 2-gap for longer in these 3 flag game modes.
Yeah, and we're going to see a big fight now opening up on this left-hand side. It's just finished here with Doom Drugs getting knocked down on this road, and if I'm honest, that's probably going to be one of the best ways for Italy to get out of the situation. Flanking around the left is good when you're fighting over that mid-map, but it tends to be quite a hard-fought battle there, as we see Marcus Lee going very, very strong, wiping that one out with his teammates. And yeah, Italy's stuck in here, and the Charlie flag being contested, Spain not letting go of that pressure, and the tickets are slowly getting even.
Yeah, for a second there I thought Spain were going to, actually cap C flag, but luckily Italy able to come off spawn in force, smoking it out, getting those important kills in the top house, area. They clear it out, and now they're pushing straight on. Doom a bit ahead of the pack there, maybe want to stay a little bit closer to your teammates for those kills. Catanzaro gets a huge 2-piece as the player goes to the revive. He pulls out his pistol, tries to get that one as well, gets killed, but he's going to get traded out by Calatero, who's there supporting him. And everyone's dead. There's an incredible amount of bodies there on that truck side. But Calatero is the last guy alive. As you see, this big push now on this left side.
Yeah, and that's something that Italy have done very, very well for like the past sort of few minutes now. They've just been hitting the left, hitting the right, hitting the left, till eventually they get to a point where they can wipe a ton on the right-hand side and they can sneak around this left. But Spain did a very good job closing that down very, very quickly there. 3-man defense, and they get the revive. They secure the tickets from that, and Spain have, for the first time in this series, taken the lead off of Italy.
Pretty impressive comeback there. Like we said, this map can sort of snowball for the side with the favourable spawn, and luckily, for Spain, they were able to get out of that and sort of draw this game even, like you said. And now it's all up to this sort of massive B fight. You see Italy with crazy force attacking that B flag, and I think Spain are one of the few teams in the world which can offer them a good gunfight in the SMG area.
Yeah, 100%. Camber trying to be a bit cheeky, going right around the back to loop to Alpha, but Bada Alex doing a very good job shutting that down. Italy finally getting back onto this Bravo flag. And with one more Spanish player left, it looks like a Naxo Mixter is causing a lot of issues. Picks up a second kill, I think that's his third now on Bravo, and fortunately gets gunned down in the back, but it looks like Italy now in a good place moving forward.
No, totally right. And you see Brolex here getting a huge 2-piece for Italy, pushing up. Calatero trades him out, which is a huge kill from him, but he does have to spend a long time reviving. He is in the squad, but he's not a medic, so that's going to take a while. And B's actually empty, because Doom's the last guy here. He doesn't know whether to stay or leave, really, because there is this sort of C push temporarily. So now he needs reinforcements. He's probably calling, guys, I need you on B flag, and here they are. The reinforcements coming very strong. You see, I think 4 medics, 3 assaults, and 1 support guys. So there's a lot of close quarter gunfights going down on the map. And it just feels like they're just better at this sort of engagement range. This sort of B flag range is just their, bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly. And Jando doing a very, very good job, like he's been doing since the beginning of the start, taking these sandbags, hankering down this left-hand side, while his 2 teammates put a lot of pressure onto Bunker. Italy finally starting to set up now. I mean, they could probably be pushing just slightly off of Bravo. When it comes to these sort of style games, you never want to be fighting on the flag, you want to be fighting off of it. And that's something that Spain did very, very well, fighting off of Bravo between Charlie, and it caused a lot of headache for Italy, who, although they've done a very good job getting back to this point, 20 tickets ahead, nearly lost it there.
No, you're right. It was teetering the balance there, but I think you see Italy sort of stomping their way back into this, as you rightly pointed out. You see Jukes just dominating this parachute area for his team. Spain keep doing this thing where they push, front B with not very many smokes. Like, I've been surprised how little smoke grenades. You see a few more now coming in, but in general, it's been quite a clean map. There's no server crashes going on around here with these teams for some reason. I get in these sort of games, revives will become less and less common. Players are worrying about, the skill level of their opponents. They know you're going to get killed if you revive two in the open, if you don't smoke. And even if you do smoke, teams are smart enough to shoot through the smoke at this level. So, it's a risky business, but still, I think Spain need to use more and more smoke, have more medics doing their jobs properly to get through this iron wall that is the Italian team right now.
Yeah, exactly, and
wow,
it just happened so quickly there. We were halfway through the game with a very close fight. Italy came out of nowhere to shut that off and taking that first map 39-0. If you are trying to defend your opposite spawn, you have to watch out for this beach side, because if you've got a good defense in the center, expect a few players to be going far around, getting that far flank on and taking you from the rear.
I totally agree. You see something interesting if you look at the class choices. Bullfitter starting off this game as a sniper. You will see this a few more times as teams start to adjust to the range and they start to realize how important this cap is. Bullfitter is going not for the initial kills, but he's going in the tower, see if he can get a pick here. But I kind of doubt it. I feel like he started a bit too slow, but he is taking a few shots. See if we can get a pick here from range. He is looking at the sort of beachside area, but this is definitely a new tactic. You will start seeing a bit more commonly, I think.
I mean, would he not have been better as support with maybe like the Madsen or the Lewis gun at that range to just at least fire on?
Yeah.
Call it out for his teammates, put a bit of pressure on, and then when he needs to push up or needs to defend, he's got the gear to do it. But he hasn't actually hit anyone just yet, so I don't know how viable the strategy really is, other than just being a big pain in the backside. But the rest of his team doing a very good job on Bravo, managing to push in and push through. Italy seeping through the cracks a little bit, coming around from behind. We see Jukes here taking out Cantazaro here. Phantom looking to come in and mop that one up. He does so perfectly. And we have Camo, Doom and Drugs all around those outskirts of Bravo. But that does put Spain in a good position at the beginning of the game.
No, you're right. I think that sort of sniper. You see, he has gone down. He was taken out by an SDG. It could go really well. It could go really badly. And I think he was sort of saved by the skill of his teammates there, winning the opening engagement on B flag. But you see, Italy have leaked onto C. They did make that push on the beach side, the side which the sniper was watching. So I guess he wasn't particularly effective in doing his role. Unfortunately for them, it could have gone well. Maybe I was expecting like a ZH, maybe to be aggressive off the start, see if you can get a few picks. Players just aren't expecting like a 6-time scope off the bat, something like that. But they went for the actual kills, which is I guess why you choose like a full-on sniper rifle like the Krag Jorgensen. I guess he was hoping for headshots, but I don't know.
But I mean, although he did lose Charlie for his team, which is unfortunate, wrong class, wrong time. The rest of his team, Phantom, managed to push on with his teammates onto Alpha, cap Alpha, and now they're pushing back into Bravo to try and keep hold of that, and they're doing a beautiful job right now. Naxo going in huge at the top here. He's managed to pick off 2. He's got Rolex coming in behind him. It's just going to be a big turn if he can get the kill here. He's just pre-firing all of the angles. Unfortunately, Rolex gets the better of him there, but it just wasn't enough. Really, Spain should have gone in a bit too aggressive. on that flag. But Phantom, what is he doing on that flag?
No, well, more importantly, what are the Italian players doing? This guy is just doing what any player would do in that situation, which is, you know, aim and shoot. For some reason, the Italian players refused to shoot back at him. I don't know what was happening there. No call-outs, no awareness. I don't know how he's managed to single-handedly get B flag, but he has. I feel I would look. I mean, Phantom's obviously one of the best players in the world at this game, but also you've got to call out where he is. I don't know what happened there. Insane. And luckily, Italy are back, you know, applying a bit of pressure. But I think Spain will take this back behind Phantom slaying there.
Yeah, but they need to be careful now. We see Coletto coming in back to Alpha as we've got a 3-man push from Italy on that Alpha flag. They still have control of Charlie, and if Spain aren't careful, they could be pinned into Bravo, and they could end up losing the game just this way. And it sucks a little bit, but Spain have laxed on Charlie, I think, a bit too much now. They have to put the pressure back on.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many guys on B there for Spain that, like you said, you had to wonder, you know, where the support was on the, you know, the A and C flags, and it just wasn't there at the time. And like you said, they have lost the C flag. Spain, Italy coming in with a huge team sort of slaying thing. That's the thing you worry about with Spain is, you know, yes, they can slay with the best of them, but you know, how much of a one-man army are you going to let a Phantom sort of take on as his responsibility? You know, like, have you got that, you know, 1 to 8 level of slaying that Italy has, or how much, you know, is one star player worth, you know, 3, you know, very good players on the Italian side? And it's hard to sort of tell when you see Kama getting 2 pieces and, you know, the whole team contributing to the slaying effort on Italy. So that's definitely something to look forward to as we get as much.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And Spain have definitely got a solid defense down onto Bravo. They're trying to push back onto Charlie, and probably what they could do with is 2 people pushing up from top of the hill, and then 2 more people actually spawning in and spread these 4 guys out. I mean, you've got Eldef here as a support on the very top, who's doing a very, very good job rinsing people, but he goes down, and we might actually start to see Charlie opening up for the Spanish players here.
Yeah, exactly. Eldith goes down, though, unfortunately, for Italy in the tower there on C flag. And you do see Canton holding the spawn for Phantom, so they're going to push on to C now. Eventually, you know, it took a while for them to get there, but that's just the nature of the map. It's pretty big, it's pretty hard to get there through the winding sort of flank areas. Phantom does win a gunfight, that's pretty huge. Kama is going to go for the revive. That's a huge revive for him because that gives him an opportunity to win the gunfights. Eldis goes down as well. He goes down in more ways than one. Kama there gets a kill, but I mean, it looks like he's going to have to hold spawns if they're going to have any chance of, you know, keeping C or retaking C now.
Exactly, and what these Spanish players could be doing with right now is just at least shooting around the guy to force that in combat penalty to spawn on and prevent the Italians from spawning in. It didn't quite happen as we start to see Eldef and Rolex now spawning onto that Charlie flag. And I mean, you've had to take away sort of 2 or 3 of your best slayers from that engagement, from the center and the Alpha flag to try and retake Charlie. I mean, the rest of the Spanish guys have been doing an absolute cracking job here, fighting off of that Bravo flag onto Alpha and tying up these Italian players for quite a long while now. But Drugs is starting to push up. He's trying to look around to get to Bravo. Spain are still mopping up this Charlie flag, but they're in a really good position now. They're only sort of 15 tickets behind, which isn't that bad considering we're in the halfway point of this game.
Talking about halfway point in this game, if you look at the kills, so he's on 17. I don't need to say the name, you already know who it is. He's on 17 kills. I mean, when you've got, I know the game is about roles and positioning, and you know, if you're watching a lane, you're not going to get that many kills. But to have that many more than your second best player on 7, to have 17, more than double, that is pretty insane in terms of what he's doing for his team. And I think the fact that they're even close in this game means that, you know, he has to do this. He has to do this sort of slaying to make it even close for them. For some reason, I thought on these bigger maps Spain would be more effective. You know, you've got guys like Eldith and Django, very good players from range, as well as all the SDG guys. You know, but I still think Spain have the edge. I guess not. I guess it's, you know, they're losing at this point. And go on.
It comes at a trade-off here. Like you said before, you can have a single good player surrounded by some average guys, or you can have a team of, you know, better than average players who are just playing the game very, very well. And I think that's what Italy have done up to this point. They've played it very, very well. They've pulled this Spanish team apart, and then they're trying to beat them out in the trades. But we've seen some, you know, really, really spectacular performances from Spain. They might not necessarily be slaying, But these boys who have been defending Bravo from this alpha push have been on point that whole time that Phantom was just going off on that Charlie flag. They've been really putting up that wall. Now Spain have secured Charlie. They can set that line up on Bravo, but they have to be careful now because Italy are now an 8-man push onto that Bravo flag, and that can be a very, very dangerous situation to be in.
No, exactly. You're 100% right. I mean, Eldith was doing his best defending A flag there. Gets a 3-piece, is taken down eventually, and he needed to because there was pressure onto A flag there from Catanzaro for a second. But luckily, Italy have definitely... I mean, I'm not sure if the Spanish guys are aware of this, but they've completely left A open, so they could go there from 1 to 2. But you see Phantom pushing this, pinching the pinch essentially. Eldith is going to run into him now. I don't favour him from this range for the Luskin. He goes down at the expected range of the gunfight, and I mean, you know, Italy taking B, and if they win a few gunfights on C here, Spain could be in a big trouble here because Phantom gets
managed to hold on to that Bravo flag, retaking it. They narrowly lost Alpha here, but we have Phantom going in huge with a really important kill, supporting the rest of his team to retake that one as Italy start moving down from that Charlie flag, pushing in. There's only 3 tickets between these two teams. Every kill matters, every revive is going to count, and this is where it comes down to the wire now. Spain getting some really good kills off of that Alpha flag here, but they are about to lose Bravo, and this is going to be absolutely devastating. They have to get that spawn, get their home spawn right now, challenge Charlie, get on that flag, and get the slaying down. It's down to the wire. Still 3 tickets between these two teams here. The kill feed is even, blue and red. Well, how is this game going to turn out, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's so even, like you said. The kill feed is literally going back and forth between blue and red. There's so much that you just don't even know. We're tied on 13 going in. Italy have got the 2 cap on B flag. Spain have a big push now on both flags. They have a C to B push going on, and they have a spawn push to C. C's going to go quicker, I think, if they win the gunfights there. You see Buffalo, Asia and Kama. Kama goes down 3 on 1. Rolex is coming in to help on C flag. That looks like it's going to have to go quicker, but they do lose the gunfight. And they need to get onto C flag as quick as possible. The Spanish guys do. They get the kill 2 on 1 now in favour of Spain. And B flag's going as well because the Spanish won the gunfights there as well. Bullfitter is the last guy on B flag. Phantom and Catanzaro to help. Jukes is the last guy with Doom for Italy. And you see both flags going in favour of the Spanish. They might be able to clutch it here on gunfight wins.
A good 2-piece by Naxo is going to really put a massive dent into that Italian side here. But we see Jukes coming in, picks up 2 kills, get the spawn for Ace Alyssa here. What is going to happen? Every player holding on to the spawns here, and did Spain just steal that from the Italians? 5-0.
What the hell?
What a game!
34 kills.
What a game!
34 kills for Phantom. Get to this stage, you know, you exert so much energy onto a map and then you lose it, you know. Is that going to tilt the Italians? Is that going to inspire the Spanish guys to go even harder? You know, that's the sort of momentum.
Oh, they could get a bit too overconfident here, and I think it all comes down to playstyle right now. We've seen some very interesting things here as we have the Italians in the red, the Spanish in the blue. I think the Italians getting the worst of the 2 spawns here, although they'll get that easy top control that Eldith is kind of relinquished now. They do get the nice and easy push onto Bravo, and the Italians doing a very good job wiping that. And Spain setting up sort of around the side.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like you said, you know, teams are going to try and control this top lane area. You see Italy, unable to do that. They win so many gunfights on B, but they lose the gunfights on this sort of top road side. So that 2 cap they have, is it going to last very long? If Spain are able to win these gunfights. You see Eldith coming off spawn again. He's a key guy. He's going to get a pick, I think. Yeah, he gets 1. If he gets 2, that's huge. He does get both of them. The hillside is now back in the control of the Italians, but Calatero is on C flag. Spain looks...
Yeah.
I mean, if they can hold that, then that is really important because this map is not really about the B flag. I feel like people think it is. I think it's about the home spawns on this map. I think if you control this sort of AC lane and road and just piss them off and stick them on B, then that's really effective.
Yeah, and that's generally what you do. You drag these teams into like a big massive pit fight into Bravo. You probably give up your 3 best slayers to do that, and that's what they do for the whole game. They just fight on that Bravo flag, fight on that Bravo flag, and one, it just saps tickets away from the opponent, and it opens up all these nice little gaps and narrow ways that you can get through. And Spain had a cheeky chance for a triple cap there, but Italy have managed to get round to Alpha. Spain tidying up Charlie now, just Jando on the flag being a massive pain in the back. And yeah, Spain taking a nice, little counter to Italy's early lead.
Definitely, I think, also something to point out about on this map is the C4 usage. I think you probably see it more on this map than any other one. You see the classic sort of B second house thing where, you blow up the wall and turn B house into, basically a semi-detached one compared to just a normal one. And that sort of expands the gunfight over a larger sort of a surface area, I guess. And you sort of see this on the C building as well now. It's completely bombed out by C4, so that makes it easier at range to take people off the flag. Not every corner is a safe spot anymore. You've got to now get the long range of lines of sight, and I think that is gonna that favor the Spanish guys, in my opinion. But we'll see how this match goes on. You see Spain and Italy trading kills. It is basically dead even. This is about as even of a game as you'll ever see.
Yeah, well, I don't know, from that last game it was incredibly even down to the wire here, but what we could start to really see is maybe Spain spawning back on their home flag here, just probing it a little bit. I mean, we've got Eldif here, Tribe Eldif, so Jimmy must
Guaning, but we are back again here, still on Italy versus Spain here on Marita. You see it's very close. You see Italy with a 92 to 76 ticket lead going into the sort of second third of this game. So it looks like they've got this A-B hold set up from their spawn, and see how long they can hold that sort of line there with Marquitos and Brian pushing through mid. And this sort of top lane is also under pressure here because you see some of the Spanish guys spawning in the back, and they've got that back spawn so they can put pressure on A flag and see if they can get a cap on A and C.
Yeah, and so it's been a very, very close game. To be honest, you haven't really missed much here. It's just been a lot of trading of those home flags. You're starting to see the Italians really put the pressure on the Spanish onto Alpha here, but Spain have quite a bit of a commanding lead. Italy have quite a bit of a commanding lead over Spain right now. It's like almost 30 tickets between the two teams, and I think Spain are going to have to put in some serious work, mainly around the slaying department, to try and make those tickets up outside of the kills here. We see Alex doing a very good job picking off 2 on his way to Charlie. Jando does go down, so that's going to be another one. So these tickets here and there are going to come in absolutely crucial towards the end of the game.
No, I agree. Like you said, these kill tickets, people forget. If you're playing at a certain pace, these maps will go a lot quicker, and if you're playing slower, then they will go a bit slower with the lack of deaths. You see, Phantom obviously had a crazy couple first games, leading the kills of both teams, and then you see on this map, he's died 11 times. Leading the lobby in that department is, the trade-off with being so aggressive is, if you're getting team shot and there's nothing you can do, then you will die a lot of times, and you will be draining tickets off your team. And that can cost you. I mean, they are down right now. Obviously, I'm not going to put that on its death count because it's definitely the 2 flag cap you see. More importantly for Italy, that they're able to hold B flag basically the entire game. They've had control of this flag, and they haven't really relinquished it. You see Django by himself with Calaterio pushing in, but they've done a really good job holding B.
Yeah, and not only that, they've put a ton of pressure on the home flag of Spain. And I think that's what Italy have managed to get a lot of their points from, is just kind of farming the kills and the pushes back onto A, because Spain have just been throwing bodies at it left, right and centre. We're seeing players in very cheeky positions. We did see quite a nice defence there, and yes, that's 3 more tickets off the board right there, and I think Spain are feeling the heat just a little bit right now. It's not going their way, that map, and to be honest, it's kind of to be expected. It's a very, very close quarters map. You've got to be quick, you've got to be on those flag switches, and although they're capping Bravo, which is nice, it's great and all, we see Italy have already started to push onto Charlie, try and get that back. Karma is there just kind of being a bit of a nuisance. He could get 2 nice easy kills here, and Alpha has just been the same story throughout the whole game, just a massive kill farm. And with 60 tickets between the two teams, I don't think 20 lives is going to be quite enough now for this.
No, very well pointed out. You see, Spain finally get control of B flag after a wave of kills, and then you see Camo, providing that flanking route, through the mountain spawn. That's probably something where, they seem to have control of that height advantage, and they can sort of pick and choose which flag they go to, which is what you can't do if you don't have control of that high lane. You can't see where people are. You don't know where people are in relation to the home flags, most importantly, and you don't know whether you can push or not, because they clearly knew that they could push onto there with so much pressure on B. They knew they must be weak counting players on B flag, and they thought, guys, let's just push C and hold this 2-cap. And it's funny, you won't get a single point for holding a single one flag like Spain's doing right now. So they're doing a good job trading kills a lot of the time. It's not like they're getting wiped off the map, it's just they don't have that 2-cap in, which is why they're losing this map so handedly.
Exactly, and we've seen some really good support play from Eldeth here, who's been in a really good position probably the whole game. I mean, 15-4, he's done a very good job there, and he's like sort of rivaling sort of the top of his team like Doom, who've been right in the thick of it with the Thompson SMG. But with Italy taking that 78-0, it kind of makes the last two maps really, really unpredictable now. Like, how are we going to see how these two teams are going to play? 15 seconds left to go before we jump into Lofton Islands. We have Italy in the blue, Spain in the red. Spain, in my opinion, probably getting the better of the two spawns here.
Yeah.
And I think, judging on how this is going to go, we're going to see Italy going for a lot of those wide flanks and Spain trying to control the centre of the map, and both teams trying to punch out from their respective corners of the ring right here. But we see Italy get a nice early on to Alpha. That's going to be really good, only leaving that one person on, which means Spain is going to cap Charlie quicker. But they decided to completely uncontest Bravo and push straight in for that mid-map Alpha push.
Phantom was so aggressive there. He's completely by himself. He almost gets a kill. But like you said, they completely screw B over and just say, fine, we're going to go to A flag. But then they sort of realise that hasn't gone very well, and they sort of then collapse from mid-map onto B, which can be very effective. If you smoke off this line of sight, which Django's holding from A flag, and you go from mid to B, this sort of side swipe, then that can be very effective as well. You see guys like Jukes in the way of that push, but he's, not very well supported, but they are getting the kills. They seem to be able to get the picks when they need them, Italy, and they did that very well to stop the contest onto B flag. But you see this A push as well, Wild.
Yeah, and that was very, very well played by the Spanish guys. They pushed onto B, they managed to get onto one side, and immediately 3 guys were off onto Alpha here. But they have to be careful. They've left 2 guys defending this Charlie flag, which is very, very well thought out here. They're keeping the pressure up onto Bravo and Alpha, and although they haven't won that, and in fact that cost them quite a few tickets here, they put the pressure on Italy. We've seen how Italy respond, and they're responding in kind, pushing very aggressively up to this Charlie flag with a 3-man push. Bullfitter not able to finish Rolex off here, and with 2 more Spanish guys on, can Rolex get a cheeky 3P to finish this off? Unfortunately he can't, just looked the wrong way. Jando holding off of the flag, very well played, very well thought out, just waiting for those spawns. Italy doing a very, very good job now of just playing smart, playing clever at this very early stage of the game.
I totally agree, and then as you say that, they get wiped on B flag, the Spanish guys push in, they secure the spawn. So if anyone's able to take this B random spawn for Italy, I don't think they took it in time because there were so many guys on the flag on Spain, removes that opportunity for the random spawn. So they have to spawn on A now, which means that the Spanish guys can push it. We see Doom and Catanzaro nearby to each other. Doom's probably going to get the kill there because he catches him by surprise after taking drugs down. And Phantom with the trade. So you see this pushed up area, which is why you said, Spain have the favourable spawn, is once you do get pushed up on B flag, there's very little space for the Italians to go other than C. Giving them credit though, they have got to C and they have got the kills they needed to make that work. You see Eldith and Buffalo, Rolex on C flag, and they're able to cap it. I mean, Brian's here in the back, but he needs support.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at this push on A, and now we're looking at Charlie, the one thing that the Spanish are doing very wrong right now is they're just going one in after the other. And they're just giving free kills to the Italians right now, especially on this Alpha flag. and it's doing them no good whatsoever. But they have managed to push onto Bravo. They did get a lot of those tickets back. It's 121 to 126. We're seeing a lot of red in the kill feed right now for Spain. They're doing very, very good. Doom laying on the floor, couldn't quite get away with it as Bullfitter picks that one up straight away. And Spain to start to set up that nice line to get the trap onto Alpha.
Yeah, that was weird. I guess someone called out, you know, guys who are on A, go back to B and cap it that way, because they basically went from the flag they didn't have to a flag they didn't have as well, but they kept the middle one, and it was a weird one. It was a strange one, but you see Italy come straight back from the home spawn onto B, and they're applying a bit of pressure. Both teams. You saw a massive wipe for Spain, and now you see, I think, a 7 or 6 man at least wipe in favour of Italy there. So they're going to push up massively. They're going to take B flag. No one got a random spawn on the side of Spain there, and they're going to push up mid map, and they're going to take control of this, you know, this sort of bird's nest area which Django's near. That Calotero is pushing him now, and I think this A push is a recurring theme we see for the Spanish. They don't like a B flag very much. They like to keep pushing A and applying pressure.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a two-part tactic here. You see, they put a lot of pressure on the Alpha flag. They draw those guys off of Bravo towards the centre of the map, and then they bump their way straight to Bravo, and they're just trying to play it almost like tennis right now. You want to draw that guy from left to right, and then you just want to hit one area. Luckily for them, Bullfitter manages to get onto Alpha. They're starting to get the decap here. Duke's trying to flank around, but luckily the Spanish doing a very good job of holding that Charlie flag, keeping the defense solid as they capture Alpha now.
You see Eldith hopping on the flag here. That's actually a really good position, because no one really expects that one. He actually hops on the flag and stops the cap coming in straight away, which gives the Spanish guys something to think about, which is something you don't see from other Lewis gun players. You know, not being, tending to be not aggressive enough and not helping their team out enough. You've got to know when to apply pressure and when not to. You know, with the gun you've got in your hands, and I think Eldith made a good choice there to get onto the flag, apply a bit of pressure, and you see it works out in the end. They're able to get A flag back because of his aggression and his spawn beacon provision as well. So good job from him, and you see this B flag rush now as you see both teams trying to get back onto B, completely shelled out, mind you, but they've still got to cap the flag.
Cantero doing a very good job, being very, very aggressive, rushing onto that flag, and that's what you need. You need that one single person to just probe that flag, rush in there, see if it's uncontested. And thanks to him, Spain were able to push on very, very aggressively onto Bravo. We see Bullfitter coming in from mid-map, getting a good flank on Doom. Probably one of the better slayers for the Italian players right now. But unfortunately, out of all of that, Italy managed to trade out positively now, grabbing Bravo, and they're also putting a counter push onto Charlie, stopping Spain from bouncing to Alpha. So Italy played that very, very well from all kind of angles of the field right now, not just in their slaying.
Yeah, I agree. Well pointed out. I mean, like we talked about, you know, Spain's two-part play with pushing A and then collapsing on B, and then Italy have responded to that by saying, okay, fine, we're not even going to let you get to A because we're going to push C and we're going to keep you there for as long as we possibly can. You see the slaying come in. Both teams are very effective at when they get the first kill, and it's a 4-on-3 perhaps when there's two squads collapsing, and then it's a 4v2, and it just sort of snowballs, and that really works well for these teams. You see Eldith trying to pull off a miracle here. Bullfitter just take him down eventually. So good hold there, because the Spanish guys keep their home flag, and they check the random spawn effect as they should do, as teams have finally started to learn, and they got B flag. Unfortunately though, Doom, unfortunately for them at least, Doom gets onto B flag with the huge piece, and you see Italy coming out of their base, out of the weak side spawn on this map with so much slaying potential. It's just insane.
Yeah, and I think this is the problem with Spain, is they do a very good job pushing onto those flags, getting the wipes, but their defense is going to absolute total garbage right now.
Yeah.
And they're just leaving like 1 or 2 people in key positions, and Italy just chucking like 2 guys at it, getting that positive trade out and winning. Luckily Spain are very good on that counter attack. They hold on to Bravo, they're knocking down those tickets, but even though they've held on to Bravo for quite a while now, they still stay 20 points to 15 points behind Italy. So they have to be very, very careful not to throw away the tickets, at least at this stage in the game, because 15 kills against you now could cost you the 15 lives that you need later on.
That's 100% right. With how close these games are, you know, every ticket counts, and you can't be throwing your lives away absolutely carelessly, like we've seen it a few times. But yeah, like I said, this game is definitely about, you know, I feel like it's at least a lot more about defense than it was in Battlefield 1 at least, so you can't just leave flags completely open. I see both teams doing it at times on B flag, where it's like a few guys dotted around, and then any sort of, you know, concerted effort to get back on with a squad seems to always work, because, you know, there's barely anyone there. It feels like Eldith rips Catanzaro's head off there on B flag, and like I said, they just rush B. Italy rush B, no one's there on the side of Spain after one guy was taken down, only one, and it's just like, you know, give us the flag back, absolutely fine. They see a full squad coming back now, luckily. But I don't know. I think a bit more defense is needed for both teams.
Yeah, 100% here. And see, Italy are falling into a bit of a trap here. We saw Drugs could have had the opportunity to push onto a fairly uncontested Bravo. Instead, I think some of his teammates panicked, called him back to Alpha, and it allowed Spain to reinforce that Bravo flag just at the right time here. And it allowed them to hold onto that flag for just a bit more. Spain now taking the lead 60 to 58. It's a small lead, but this is a kind of momentum and the kind of uplifting spirit you need from your teams. Boys, we just got in the lead. We can do this. We can beat Italy. And when you start to see Catanzaro here going in massive, unfortunately he does get shut down, and Bravo going back into the Italy side, we could start to see Spain crumble, possibly.
Yeah, like they seem to have it for they seem to have the setup they want. You know, they get the wipe, and then they get the setup. They have guys stacked on the flag. They have guys on different levels. It seems to be all perfectly set up. And then Italy just smoke, rush in, and it's just as simple as that. There's no way to counter it. Smoke is in this game uncounterable. All you got to do is get in there and have an SMG player good enough, or at least enough SMG players in the vicinity that it's impossible not to kill someone. There's no other way of doing it, and I think Italy just know that, and they just, you know, forgive me for saying it, but they just abuse that mechanic so well that Spain just can't do anything about it. You know, they get B flag and then they smoke it. The Italians smoke it off and get it back straight away. It's nothing, you know, they haven't seen before. It's just, how do you counter something which is so predictable yet so unstoppable at the same time?
I mean, if it were me, if I see those smokes start coming in, it's just me and my teammate on the field. Just pull back, pull off of the flag, let them take it. Hey guys, they're taking Bravo. And then everyone else can now spawn onto another player and push the Alpha flag here, draw people away. You know, if you can't fight in the smoke, fight off of it. And I think Spain now going for a very aggressive push on Bravo. They know they need it. They're 20 tickets behind here. Spain have stolen this, Italy have stolen this game off of Spain here at the very last minute. And Phantom doing a very good job coming in to clear up the last of Bravo. And Alpha being taken as well. Could we see a last minute triple cap here from Spain? Unfortunately, Market here exposing himself just a little bit. But Catanzaro pushes on the flag. Pressure coming in for Italy, left, right and centre. But they do a very good job capping Charlie here, removing a bit of that pressure. They're still 20 tickets ahead. And I think this could be Italy's game.
Oh, huge gunfight win there by Catanzaro. So no pressure off the Italians on B flag. But like you said, you see the Italians just waltz through mid-map and just get on B flag. Like, I don't know how that even happens. It's just incredibly open for the Italian guys. They're just waltzing in. There's no pressure at all. Luckily, the trades work out in their favour, but the Spanish were almost punished and lost the game just on some sloppy positioning, I guess. I'm not sure what the issue was there. Now you see, this is huge. Phantom's pushed up into, you know, the Italian side house. If he can stay alive and just annoy people, you know, Rolex can't move forward, or Eldith can't move forward, can't pick him, then that's actually huge as a defensive mechanism. It's one of the few defensive things I've seen, but the Italians push A so well from their spawn. They just get full guys on a flag. The Italians seem to be pushing as a squad perfectly. They never do something by themselves. There's always 4 guys, 5 guys, reviving, smoking, pushing at the same time.
Well, that was very good play there. You see, all the guys that died in Bravo respawned at their home, pushed onto Alpha. They knew the Spanish would be off the flag. They're trying to hold that Bravo flag, push onto Charlie. So they took advantage of the limited guys that were on Alpha. And that was something that the Spanish really couldn't afford to happen here. Although they're re-grabbing Charlie, Italians are bouncing very quickly onto Bravo. Leaving one guy from the Spanish onto that Bravo flag isn't going to help. He's really, really open. He can be pinched from both sides here. He picks up 1 kill, but he is going to get traded out very, very effectively. And with Charlie going down as well, are the Spanish going to lose to a triple cap?
It looks like it's going to come in, like you said, the B kills don't go their way, the C kills don't go their way. The Spanish guys are getting wiped off B flag. Nacho is the last guy in any sort of considerable position on the map, but it's just too late. The kills come in. Drugs with a huge 3-piece. And I think, like we said, the answer to the question we asked earlier, it seems to be team slaying, crocodile, smiley face, whatever it is, pointing towards that, in favour of a team slaying, in favour of just a one-man army. Phantom with another huge game in terms of kills, but it just isn't enough, because I think Italy's teamwork is just superior in this matchup, at least so far in this game.
Yeah, they're just hitting the decisions and they're hitting those spots on the map very, very well. Like,
are going to be Provence, very small map designed for 5v5, and that shows you how small it is. And then you've got Underground, the smallest map in the rotation. It seems to favour the Italians. That isn't to say that the Spanish can't do it, because they definitely can. But they not only need to win the next 2 maps, they need to do it by, there's a ticket difference of 139. So you're looking at 70 ticket wins on both of these maps to bring it back, to make it to the final. If you're the Spanish guys, it's time to turn up. It's time for everyone to pull their weight and slay out.
yeah, we are going to start to see the Italians in the red, Spain in the blue here, and we start to see a very, very aggressive red team onto Bravo, pushing straight through the vanguard of Spain right here. But Spain take the centre of the map here. Eldith looking to hold that home spawn, ditching his support class for a more favoured assault on this sort of close quarters map. And yeah, I mean, the fight's progressing slower than I thought it would be, but Italy look to have 2 very good positions. They're on Bravo, they're doing a very good job here, and they also have a really clean run and line onto Alpha, which unfortunately they decide not to take here as they move back round to Charlie. Market Lee doing a very good job here to pull their attention away from Alpha, and I think that's something that Spain needs to continue doing for the whole of this game. Just keep pulling that attention away from the home flag, so you can get a nice 5-6 man push onto Bravo.
No, totally right. Bullfighter goes down for the Spanish guys, so no push onto C is going to happen anytime soon. You see the Spanish guys back again on B. They get a huge kill. I think a suicide by Asia there with the dynamite attempt, which happens every so often. You see, sort of guys running around like headless chickens on the B flag, hoping for an angle, hoping for a pick. Marquitos does finish the gunfight out. Originally, Italy missed the B random spawn, and you've got to, if you're Spain, you've got to remind yourself that that's a thing. And I think teams are a bit slow to react. Marquitos must call it out now. You see Phantom get a kill from the sort of top B area onto the random spawn, but they didn't push it out, which is what you have to physically do with a player to prevent them from getting that spawn. And you've got to make a decision. If you're 2 guys on a flag, you're probably too slow to cap it before you prevent a random spawn cap. So you might
check Doom out here being very cheeky, staying in Bravo, staying right at the very back. Phantom and Market pushed all the way out here without actually clearing the flag. I mean, luckily it's a 2v1 situation here. Asa managed to spawn at the last minute, getting a taste of his own medicine with the dynamite there from Kama. Yeah, no, very, very good there. Italy struggling a little bit going into this, as Spain are only 6 tickets behind. They have Alpha on Bravo. How well can they hold this? How much can they hold of this attack on Alpha that's happening right now?
Yeah, exactly right. They sort of get away with the B random spawn thing that I was mentioning, luckily for them. So they push out from that side. And now this is the issue. If you lose B on this side, you've got to have guys like Nacho, Catanzaro pushing out these like weird sort of, like farmland patches, I guess, and they sort of push those out, and there's just so many weird like walls and head glitches and bushes, and it's just difficult. And you see this one-on-one guy here going on between Nacho and Eldith. Nacho pulls out the victory there, and that's huge, because now it's just like, oh guys, there's a guy in our spawn, I don't like this. And you see the pinch coming in from the main street, and the pinch coming in, like I mentioned, from Catanzaro, and that is huge. A trip cap is on its way. Asia did spawn up, he is trying to get the kills, but as soon as you smoke the cross like the Spanish have done now, it's difficult.
Is that an Italian wipe though? They've only got 2 guys on the field now. People are only just spawning in. If Spain can get Charlie here, they're going to put some serious tickets on the field, but they left Bravo wide open. Nacho doing a good job smacking Doom in the back here. Unfortunately gets taken out by Drugs, but it's allowed Market to push onto Bravo and apply a bit more pressure. But they had that triple cap, and look at the tickets go down every second. Italy are not pushing onto a flag. They're allowing Spain to gain more tickets, and Spain have got quite a comfy 27-point lead now, which is going to help them a lot come the late game.
No, exactly like you said, it's all about the tickets now for the Spanish. They've got to obviously win the rounds now to make it possible for them to win, but they've got to win by such a bigger margin that you'd love to see a trip cap coming in for them at one point to see if it's possible. I mean, I think Marquitos ran out of ammo at one point. He tried to pick up the gun off the floor. I think that's what happened, but he wasn't able to stop the push from the Italians from B. But they're actually capping B again. Somehow, Marquitos wins a 2-piece there in their spawn. If he gets the third on Rolex, that would be insane, because they've wiped them on B flag. That isn't a thing anymore. They have to spawn C. Oh, the Italians have leaked to A. Wow, good flank by them. So they avoid the trip cap, but there's still a 2-cap coming in, and this is huge for the Spanish players now.
Yeah, and the way they did that is they just choked Italy out of players on the field. I mean, I don't know if I was taking a nice quick view of the overhead here. Italy at any one point only had like 2 or 3 guys alive.
Yeah.
On the field right there, and it just gave Spain so much free movement around the map. But Italy managed to get some players out of those kill boxes, spread around the map. They're now spawned in at full force. Red players are everywhere right now. They managed to retake the home flag. They took Alpha now. Bravo is probably a lost cause for Spain as market goes down. So although Italy were under immense pressure, they've taken a breather. They've got themselves together here, and they could be back into this game.
Definitely now. This is they're you know they're if they win this match, you know, Italy are going through to the final. This is their you know, map to decide it for them. So they're going to go extremely hard. Bader Alex with a 3-piece near the church entrance there. Huge kills from him. And you like to see players like that, you know, not the big names on this Spanish team, but players which are very capable in their own right. You love to see them going off for the Spanish if they're going to have any chance of coming back in this match.
Well, I mean, we saw Phantom going off in sort of the first sort of games here, but he's only going 9-3 in this one. Bad Alex is going 14-3. It looks like he's looking to usurp the king at the moment and take that scoreboard up. But this has been a combined effort from Spain, who have really got under the skin of the Italians. They've hit the trades where they needed to be. They've just been up and down the map, left, right and centre. And the reward for that is a really nice 50-point lead going into sort of the last third of this game.
Definitely rewarded very well for their aggression there. And like you said, I mean, you know, it's bad when Phantom's going only, you know, 10-4. It's just not quite good enough, is it, mate? You know, you need to do better than that. but to get any praise from us, you know, we're expecting big things from you, mate. So, you see guys like Marquitos now stepping up, and I think he's a key player for this Spanish team. You know, very vocal in the party, very, you know, a leadership-heavy player. You know, this is the time when he's got to go huge for his team. Cannizaro going huge for the team as well, with a few kills there. But he's a little bit somehow wins the gunfight onto Asia there. I don't know how he managed that, but all this pressure on C flag just means that they've got to, you know, Italy have got to divert resources away from B onto C, and you see them all just sort of stuck here. They need to push out, try and get the lanes, and try and get this pushed away probably.
Exactly, and I don't know how Spain managed to do it. I honestly thought when we got into that sort of first sort of half of the game that we saw Spain crumble a little bit. Italy had a really good position in the map. They had Bravo, they had centre map control, and Spain are now boxing them in at every angle. Italy turns, there's a Spanish player waiting for them, and they're just going big. You know, Cannizaro doing a very good job here. He's just picking kills up left, front, centre. Bader Alex doing a really good job, also picking up those people. And because they're forcing Italy into those 1v1 situations here, they're able to really, really shine, pick off those kills. And at 99-27, I mean, even if Italy had one flag, they could win it just off kills alone.
Yeah, exactly. But they want to keep this 2-cap. They might even, you know, stretch for the 3-cap if they can. Although I don't think they should. I think they should probably redivert resources to B flag. Marquitos by himself with Phantom. Okay, gets the spawns. Huge spawns in just in time. As soon as Phantom spawns, he looks up, shoots, and gets a kill. You know, this 2-cap now for Spain could last them the rest of the game. Although Italy have done a great job pushing B. They're probably not going to win this map, but if they can sort of drain tickets off, they can, you know, wipe, you know, the realistic possibility out off the chalkboard. But you see Spain, Cannizaro with another 2-piece. He's going huge from the random spawn there. You see reinforcements onto B, and they're pushed onto C. Bullfitter finds his way onto C as well. I mean, this could be a trip cap to end the game here for Spain if they win more gunfights. You see, but Rolex, last guy, Kama gets taken down by Phantom from behind. Rolex needs to stay up for Italy if they've got any chance. You see all 3 flags going down at this rate. You're probably going to see B and C in favour of the Spanish guys and A in the favour of the Italians. Crazy stuff to keep up with. Huge kills there from the Buffalo guys, and drugs with the SDGs on the side of the Italians. But it's absolute chaos on the map right now, Wild.
Yeah, and like I said before, even though the Italians are holding those 2 flags here, Spain are comfy. You know they've got such a huge lead. All they have to do is get the kills. The Italians are holding onto their respawns, which means the more people Spain kill, the less people on the field, and the easier it becomes to try and cap a flag now.
Definitely. If the Italians can hold this for like any length of time, we mentioned how, you know, the 139 ticket difference going into this map, you know, you're looking at about 70 tickets per map win for Spain. They have got a 74 to 9 ticket lead now. You know, it's going to be about dead on, but that's if they get the cap right now. They're actually a little bit under par now because the Italians have actually came out so strong in this last, like, you know, tiny portion of this map that they're actually taking it down underneath 70 tickets. So that's huge for them.
Yeah, it's been very, very good play by Spain. I don't know where they pulled it from. I mean, it was definitely from a place where the sun don't shine, I think, because they've done a really good job here. And to lead by 64 tickets, it's going to really, really offset that. And it's going to allow them further on to the maps. I mean, we've still got 2 more maps to play. You know, 59, 50 tickets is a lot when it comes to adding up at a draw in maps here.
Definitely, I think we're right in saying this is the second to last map. I think Underground's the last one. I believe I'm right in saying that because I believe it's 3-1 to Italy right now. I think. So I think if Spain wins this one, it's going to be 2-3 to Italy still, and then they'd have to tie it up on Underground. I think I'm right in saying that. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's the way it stands going into this last map on Underground, I believe. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, honestly, it's all about the tickets for me right now with Italy draining all these tickets off. It's been a very slow last portion of the game. It's almost as if Spain thought the game was over and they haven't really closed it out here. You see a 2 cap coming in for them finally. You see a few kills, but it's gone down to like 44 tickets or so. And, you know, they're going to have to now really go huge on this last map, I think, to win.
Exactly, and, you know, to drain 40 tickets when you had just 20 left over, holding on to those spawns, really getting those kills, locking off the revives. They did a really good job there because Italy have managed to rack up quite a big points difference. So Spain are going to have to go in huge right now if they want to progress through to the final to face KSA.
Then, you know, you don't have enough pressure onto the other 2 flags, so you can hold that underground area and prevent any sort of flanks, and, you know, they have to hit you from the front. Alternatively, you know, if you don't have that B flag the whole game, as soon as you lose a messy, scrappy, smoky gunfight on one of the home flags, you can get stuck very easily. You know, both teams have to be very fluid with their tactics and their decision making. I think the better team in terms of communication on this map actually wins the most. You know, it's not just about throwing players at a flag anymore. And this sort of close engagement range map, you've got to actually work with your teammates more than usual. You see Cantazaro pushing very hard. You see Doom winning the gunfight, but Phantom's going around the back there on B. See if he can pick the kill. He doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to follow the action on A here, but with the Molotovs going off, the explosions and the smoke, we see a very, very, very aggressive push from the Spanish side in red. Italians now in blue. Spain managed to grab Alpha very early on, but it looks like Italy are desperate to hold Bravo now, and they've got players dotted around the map to try and slow down this push onto Alpha. Cantazaro looking to push onto that flag, gets 1 kill, Kama not able to defend that Charlie flag here. It's up to Jando, who gets the kill. Clutch move there from him. He's going to get that revive as well. But I think that was just all a ruse as Spain managed to grab that Bravo flag.
They did a great job there, capping the flag there, pushing in as a team, working together well. And you see the sort of leak here from Bullfitter. He does get taken out by Rolex. But you probably will have to see a trip cap like that, so I don't mind a push like that. You do lose a ticket with his death, but you probably will, if you're Spain, have to go for a trip cap at one point to get the tickets down to, you know, 96, which is what you're going to have to get if you want to win this match overall, because you've put yourself in a hole after losing the first, you know, 3 out of the first 4 maps you lost. With a sizable ticket deficit, you do win back, you know, the map on Provence like we just saw. But you've got to get those tickets.
We see Bad Alex going in massive right now, getting a good double piece, shutting that down here. We see Bullfitter as well carrying his weight on the field, getting a nice double cap.
Oh my lord.
And Spain managed to get a triple here very early onto this. Although they were 20 points ahead straight away, they're now going to start nailing that one down by quite a big margin as they rush straight over to Charlie to slow down this Italian push onto the flag here. Where has this Spanish team been from the very beginning?
I have no idea. They just came out of nowhere and just went for a crazy fight. You see B being lost. The Italians made it up the stairs, but it doesn't matter. If you can hold this 2 cap with that trip cap that just went in, that is a huge amount of tickets that they've just gained there. I feel like Spain are going to win this map. It's just, can you do enough? You see players, like you said, like Bad Alex going off, which I didn't see his name come up very often on the score sheet, you know, the first few maps, and now you see him go huge for Spain at the start of this game.
I mean, Spain must be definitely slow starters here, with Phantom now having to take a bit of a break, rely on the rest of his teammates, and by God can he, because they're doing an awesome job right now. But Italy managing to retake Alpha here, some really good kills by Karma and Jando, who did a really good job here getting the trades out. Phantom looking to punish that one very quickly.
Oh my God.
Bravo getting back into the realm of the Spain. And yeah, I don't think Italy know where to go, because wherever they turn, there's like 3 Spanish players there. Like, what are we witnessing, Jimmy?
It feels like there's 20,000 Spanish players on the map and like 5 Italian players. But the speed of the kills that are going down, you see A and C looks like is going to come out at the end of that absolute chaos in favour of Spain. You know, B flag, this whole map has gone back and forth with players. You know, timing their pushes, smoking, and using their assault players to break through those barriers. But it's absolute chaos on the B flag. So these side flags are where you see most of the kills going down. You see Catanzaro and Phantom leading the way for Spain alongside Bullfitter, and you see Jukes leading the kills for Italy. But that sort of team effort we saw and talked about before isn't really true anymore. It feels like Italy are getting, you know, on the bad side of the slaying effort.
Exactly, and Spain are hitting it again. They could be in for another triple cap here as Phantom gets revived here by Catanzaro. We've seen 4 players jumping right back up, and although Italy managing to retake the Alpha flag, they are a far cry away from getting even close to the 60-point lead that Spain have managed to accrue since the beginning of this game. And it's only been 5 minutes, Jimmy. Like, where has this come from?
Yeah, this whole game in general has been extremely fast. You see Marquitos now on A flag capping it. They've done so well at constantly having a flag. It feels like, you know, they're losing C right now, and they're actually losing B right now as well, but they always seem to have a flag, you know, a 2 cap on the go. But Kama with a huge 2-piece with support of Doom on A flag, so A and C comes through, and I think B as well. If the Italians can pull off a trip cap, this is the issue with being so aggressive. You see Phantom trying to do his best on B flag, but he's by himself. He gets taken down, and the 3 cap comes in for the Italians. This is crucial in ticket difference now for the Spanish.
Exactly, and I think what they have to do is leave whoever's left alive just to get the respawns, and they just have to focus on flooding 1 flag so they can at least get this ball rolling. But it looks like they're going for the Charlie and Alpha. Eldif being absolutely disgusting right now. I think that boy needs to go and have a shower. It's incredibly dirty what he just did. And can he finish it off with a
not again.
Gets another. Bad Alex definitely not having a good time now.
One more.
Eldif looking to push in, but that was the wrong move here as Bullfitter gets the kill. He's not waiting around for the revive. He's going for Alpha. He knows he has to go for it right now. The Italians pulled that out of absolute nowhere. And they're holding it. I mean, there was a 60-point lead that's been now reduced to little more than 20 points now. Spain cannot find room to move, and they did a very good job at the very beginning, but now they're on the back foot. They don't know where to go.
Yeah, that was a huge trip cap. The slaying came in. You see guys, you know, playing what's allowed to the fullest extent. You know, it is competitive, and you know you will, you know, abuse or use and abuse the best things in the game. You see Eldith there with the dynamite underground, using them to the best extent. You know, this is the smallest map in the rotation. You will see choke points like that, and you will see teams have to push through to get to a flag, especially when they're in the trip cap and they're so desperate, you know, to get through that, you know, you can pick up a 3-piece with dynamite. And that was the difference, that trip cap we saw from Spain. They had so many different small ones, but it's Italy able to hold the one big one. and it is equalled out right now, and unfortunately that does mean that it's, well, unfortunately for Spain, that does mean they lose the game overall. Drugs with a huge 3-piece for the SDG, but that does mean Italy move on to the final, so GG's and congrats to them.
Yeah, it was very, very hard fought though.
Yeah.
Spain held nothing back, and they came out with a real shocker for quite a lot of these rounds. I mean, incredible. The first half of this round was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, where did that come from? They managed to get a 60-point lead, but it just goes to be a massive testament to those Italian players. They're a very well-rounded team. They know what to do. They can cope with that pressure, and they pulled out a triple cap for almost like 2 minutes there, and it's allowed them to get back into the game, and not only get back into the game but stay in this tournament and go through to the final. Just absolutely incredible play from these players, but you've got to hand it to Spain. They just did an amazing job there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, they set it up for themselves. They gave themselves the advantage, but converting on that in this last map, when you know you could choke it and it's still mathematically possible for the other team to come back, you know, you've got to have some balls, you've got to have some composure, and I think they showed it in this last map. They are currently leading as well. They're not only just, you know, dealing with the ticket thing that I mentioned, they are also actually actively winning this map. So, you know, it could be 3-3 if Spain win it, and they will go through anyway, but they could also solidify it, you know, convincingly with a 4-2 map win, which, you know, is a bit of a flex going into the final, as, you know, the sort of at least on map ticket, you know, the favourites to win that game if they as they do go through. So yeah.
Exactly, but we see Spain stall the map to play. They stall the dignity of the Spanish Empire here to withhold, as we see Jukes here with a nice double piece here. A 3-man push gets absolutely destroyed by Rolex and Jukes. Another 3-man push around the side, Jando going in huge. Jukes coming in from the rear, doing a really good job of finishing that one off with Kama. And Italy have ripped apart that Spanish comeback right there. They're capping a very undefended Bravo. They're applying a lot of pressure to Alpha right now, and they're just hitting this right. Camo's waiting probably for the spawns, just being very, very patient, holding this mid lane push. We see Kaltaro knows something's up, walks straight into Kama. Kama gets another kill going into the flag. Unfortunately, he gets picked off by Bullfitter. Couldn't quite finish the push off. Spain have managed to level off this game. They will take the lead in the flag caps here at 31-32, 31-31. They're doing a very good job. Can they at least finish this off at 3-3 before they exit the tournament?
Yeah, that'd be nice for them. You know, as a confidence boost. You know, it was 3-3 on maps. We weren't able to get, you know, the sizable wins that we needed to come out overall. It would be nice for them to come out with, you know, an even draw. That'd be both semi-finals coming out with a 3-3 if they're able to do that. And you see Phantom going huge. You know, this is going to be his last map in the tournament, but it's definitely not going to be over. You know, RSP is coming out soon, mid-December, and we will see these teams facing for their clubs, you know, against each other in a full-on league with RSP support, and that's going to be great to see.
Exactly, and the BWL has had such an amazing journey here, Jimmy. You know, they've, from quite what I would say empty competitive scene, you guys have come in, you've filled that gap, and you've put on such an amazing tournament here with seemingly little issues until the semi-finals.
I was going to mention that, yeah.
But that is just the luck of it, you know, and I think it's a testament to what the community can pull together. Definitely. And it comes down to guys like you putting these tournaments down, teams and players coming together and keeping the scene active, and just general community members like Jampu, who designed the overlay system that all of us casters use now to provide such professional looking overlays for you guys. It's just absolutely amazing effort by the community. It really is.
No, like you said, thank you very much. It definitely comes down to these teams and the players at the end of the day, you know, putting together these games and, you know, having such passion for the game. As you see this coming down to the absolute wire here, 18 to 12 in favour of the Spanish. Can they get this map victory? You see the pressure onto A flag. Bad at Alex with a huge pick onto Eldith there to retain the flag. And you see this B flag under contest now from the Italians. They storm in like they always do with you know, medic and assault players in tow. Can they hold this and come back from 8 tickets to 16 down? Can they hold this 2-cap the rest of the map?
Well, at this point here, all we can hope is that Spain don't give away silly lives like Bullfitter and Phantom running straight through. Phantom should have just left that right now, because that's now 3 kills Spain are giving away. Italy jumping down, they know that they've got the opportunity to, as these players are going to be holding on to their respawns before they go in. They've evened it off, taken the lead by 1 ticket now. It's basically a winner stays on type deal here. as it's 8 versus 4, and I think we're going to start to see the Italians take this one on kills.
Oh yeah, they start to come through and they went able to get over. The sandbags coming in huge on C flag to prevent the Spanish guys getting in, and Italy do take the final map 8-0, so they do win 4-2 overall and progress to the final there.